Number 1. Speak up. I noticed you were quiet during the meeting. I wasn't sure if I had anything useful to offer. Well, don't hesitate to speak up. You know we value your opinion. Thanks. I appreciate that. Don't hesitate to speak up. To express your opinions or thoughts more loudly or clearly. She was encouraged to speak up during the team meeting. He needs to speak up if he disagrees with the plan. Number 2. Get across. Your presentation was great, but some parts weren't so clear. Really? I thought I explained everything well. You should work on getting your ideas across more effectively. Okay, next time will be clearer. You should work on getting your ideas across more effectively. To successfully communicate an idea or message. She used visuals to get her point across during the presentation. He struggled to get his message across to the audience. Number 3. Walk through. How was the presentation? It was really clear. They explained every step. That's a relief. I'm glad it was easy to understand. Yeah, the presenter walked us through everything, step by step. The presenter walked us through everything. To explain something slowly and step by step. They walked us through everything during the presentation. He walked the audience through the process during his talk. Number 4. Break down. This concept is pretty difficult to understand. Well, let's explain it slowly. We have to make them understand. Sure, we can break it down so it's easier. Okay, we'll divide the explanation into different parts. We'll divide it into different parts. To explain something in detail by separating it into smaller sections. She broke down the idea so everyone could understand. If you're confused, let me break it down for you. Number 5. Follow up on. As I understand it, the audience has some questions. Yeah, they'd like to ask you a few things. Okay, let's get through the rest of the presentation and then I'll follow up on those questions. Great, we have plenty of time for that. I'll follow up on those questions after the presentation. To continue discussing something after the original conversation. She followed up on the questions from the audience after her presentation. He made sure to follow up on the suggestions given during the meeting. Number 6. Open up about. How did the presentation go? It was informative, but got really personal. What do you mean? The speaker had a moment where he opened up about a lot of personal things. The speaker opened up to us about a lot of things. To share personal thoughts or feelings. She opened up about her journey during the motivational speech. He found it difficult to open up about his challenges in front of the audience. Number 7. Sum up. Before we finish, does anyone have any questions? I do. Could you just go over the key points one last time? Of course. In the last part of the presentation, I'm going to sum everything up. Thanks. That would be really helpful. I'm going to sum up the key points at the end of the presentation. To quickly review or summarize the main points. She summed up the discussion with a powerful conclusion. He summed up his arguments in the final part of the speech. Number 8. Wrap up. Tell me about the presentation. Oh, it was so great. I covered everything I wanted. I'm sure that everyone learned a lot and came away really inspired by it. I hope so. I wrapped everything up with an inspirational story. I wrapped up the speech with an inspirational story. To finish or bring something to a conclusion. She wrapped up her speech by summing up the key points. He wrapped up the meeting with a brief discussion of the next steps. Quiz time! Pause the video for each question. The speaker ended up getting personal and what his struggles with addiction. Walked through. Opened up about. That's right, it's B. The speaker ended up getting personal and opened up about his struggles with addiction. Let me what the steps so everything is crystal clear. If you have any questions after, I'll be happy to answer them. Get across. Walk you through. That's right, it's B. Let me walk you through the steps so everything is crystal clear. If you have any questions after, I'll be happy to answer them. It's time to what? So thanks for coming. I'll be back here in a week to what today's material and introduce something else. Wrap up, follow up on. Sum up, follow up on. Wrap up, get across. Sum up, get across. That's right, it's A. It's time to wrap up. So thanks for coming. I'll be back here in a week to follow up on today's material and introduce something else.